Welcome back to CAISTROLOGY, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Cailin, and today I'm going to be doing your March 2021 horoscope. I recommend watching the horoscope for your ascendant sign first and foremost, because it will be the most overall accurate horoscope for you, but of course feel free to watch for your sun and moon horoscopes as well. I've just posted my tarot predictions for March 2021, so I'll leave a link in the description box below. That is a pick a card tarot reading. If you're interested in seeing my monthly horoscopes or my monthly tarot readings, please subscribe to CAISTROLOGY, as those go up at the end of each month for the following month. And lastly, guys, I do private readings for astrology and tarot. These are via video call, so if you want to connect with me, I'll leave a link in the description box, but you can find that at caistrology.com. Without further ado, let's dive straight into the March horoscopes. Hi Sagittarius Sun, Moon and Risings. Welcome to your March 2021 horoscope. The month starts off with Mars entering the sign of Gemini on the 4th of March. With Mars in Gemini, it means that your 7th house will be activated for the next 7 weeks. With Mars in your 7th house of relationships, partnerships and marriage, if you are already in a serious relationship, or even if you're married, your partner will be really busy over the next 7 weeks, okay? They could be running a lot of errands, they could be having a lot of work issues or commitments to deal with. They may actually be having surgery sometime over the next 7 weeks. And on a different level, your partner may be interested in just being physically active and working out. Now, if you do have a partner or even a business partner, you may have a little bit of discord over the next 7 weeks. There may be some arguments. However, this can manifest another way where the two of you could just be working really hard together to achieve some kind of goal or milestone. Now, you might actually meet someone over the next 7 weeks who is very Mars-like. And what I mean by that is that they could be an Aries or Scorpio sun, moon or rising, or this individual, they don't have to have those placements. They could just be very active. They could be very athletic, very independent. They might be very attractive to you, okay? This could be someone who you end up becoming romantic with. On a different level, some of you may meet an individual who just pushes you really hard. They could be pushing your buttons, or it could be that they push you to become more independent and more physically active. Now, on the 7th of March, the Mercury retrograde post-shadow period will finally be over. So Mercury was retrograde for 3 weeks in your 3rd house. Now that this post-shadow period is over, you will see your daily plans go back to normal, okay? You won't be having to redo team projects. You won't be having all of your meetings and appointments being cancelled last minute or rescheduled or even brought forward. Your short trips and your travel plans can go back to normal. Some of you will have had to put your car in for a service, or even technological devices like your phone or your laptop. These can finally be returned back to you in working order. Now, on a different level, this Mercury retrograde period may have seen some of you Sagittarians re-establish a relationship with a sibling that you had. It may have been a sibling that you weren't on speaking terms with, or this could actually be a friend or relative or even a cousin. Now, on another note, if you were experiencing miscommunications with any of those aforementioned individuals, things can finally go back to normal. Now, on the 13th of March, there will be a new moon at Pisces at 23 degrees, and this is occurring in your 4th house. This new moon is also in a tight conjunction with Venus and with Neptune, which means that we need to look at what these two planets are doing in your chart. So Venus is the ruler of your 6th house, which will be Taurus, and it's also the ruler of your 11th house, which will be Libra. Now, with this new moon with new moons always indicating some kind of new beginning or new chapter starting in your life, and it being in the 4th house, we can see that you may be moving locations in terms of your your current living address. If you're renting, you may have to move to another location, and because Neptune represents loss or some kind of sacrifice, this may be a bittersweet move, okay? It might be something which you weren't really planning, or perhaps you're simply attached to where you're currently living, and so you weren't wanting to move, or maybe you have to move and you're happy to do it, but there's going to be some kind of like you may be missing where you're moving from. On a different level, some of you actually may be buying a new home, but you may have to sell in order to buy. And some of you may actually need to receive help from an older sibling, as represented by Venus being in your 11th house. And with Venus ruling your 6th house, this loss, as represented by Neptune per se, can actually just be you taking out a new loan. So obviously, you'll have to make some adjustments to the little luxuries that you like to indulge yourself with in your life. Now, some of you may actually be starting a new family. And with Neptune representing some kind of sacrifice here, obviously, if you are starting a family, life can't remain the same as it is because you're having to make way for new life in your family. Some of you may actually be coming to terms with the fact that you won't be starting a family, and with Neptune in your 4th house, you feel this as a sense of loss. Another way that this can play out is that the method within which you wanted to start a new family may have to be adjusted. Perhaps you're not able to start a family using natural means. Maybe you have to go through an IVF procedure, or using a surrogate, or adopting, or fostering a child, and maybe you're having to come to terms with the fact that your plans with how you wanted to start a family have to adjust at this time. Now, with this new moon in Pisces, this is about you planting the seeds over the next 4 weeks and seeing the culmination of this take place in about 6 months from now at the full moon in Pisces, or even 18 months from now. Now, it's not all about kids and starting a family. For some of you Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Risings, this is about having a new relationship or a rebirthed relationship with your mother or with your parents, okay? This could be about turning over a new leaf with them. Or perhaps one of your parents is starting a brand new journey in their life and a new chapter is commencing. Now, some of you may be finding ways to feel more emotionally secure, and this is by taking a look at the roots within which you grew up with, okay? You could be doing a lot of psychological introspective work over the next 4 weeks and feeling like you actually have a very solid base and a solid foundation. Now, lastly, some of you may be starting a new job in the military, okay? Or could be, with the army, with the navy, or doing some kind of patriotic work for your country. Or some of you may actually be pursuing a career with guardianship. You may be starting a nursery or working at a kindergarten, or opening your own kindergarten. Or some of you might be working with newborns or the elderly, or any group of individuals who are vulnerable and not able to take care of themselves. Now, on the 16th of March, Mercury will enter the sign of Pisces in your 4th house. So you'll be thinking a lot about where you're currently living. You might be thinking about starting a family. You might be communicating a lot with your parents, or you could be working on your relationship with your parents, or you could just be spending a lot of time with them. Now, on the 20th of March, the Sun will enter Aries in your 5th house, and this kicks off Aries season. So you'll be focused on romance, on having fun, on your creative pursuits. And perhaps some of you will be focused on starting your own business, or, spending more time with your children if you have children. And 2 days later, Venus will actually enter the sign of Aries. So with the Sun and Venus both being in your 5th house, if you're currently in a romantic partnership, you'll be enjoying time with your significant other. Now, for those of you who are single, okay, single Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Risings, listen up, I have exciting news. You absolutely, this month, can meet a romantic interest. And there are several things which supporting this statement, okay? And that is the fact that the ruler of your 9th house, which is the sun, okay? You have Leo in the 9th house, and so we have the sun in your 5th house. The 9th house is about the institution of marriage. You don't necessarily need to believe in a traditional marriage for this to, take effect, but we also have Mars, which is in your 7th house of partnership, as I mentioned earlier. So this is really adding a lot of spice and flair to that element of your relationships. And the 5th house also represents romance and relationships. And with Venus in your 5th house and really the trifecta of these 3 transits, you absolutely can meet someone this month, Sagittarius. And you may actually meet them at a party, at some kind of event or celebration. You could meet them at a sporting event or at a casino or at a restaurant. All of these things are 5th house places, so to speak. Now, you could actually meet a romantic interest via your own child, okay? If you're separated or divorced, your child could actually introduce you to someone whether they're a little bit older and they're actually actively matchmaking. They don't have to be older. You could actually meet your child's friend who's also got a single parent, and then you could meet them that way. So Sagittarius, keep an eye out for all of those venues and all of those instances in which you may meet a new love or romantic interest. Now, on the 27th of March, there will be a full moon in Libra at 8 degrees, and this is in your 11th house. So full moons always indicate the ending of some kind of chapter or cycle. And in the 11th house, we actually have the moon trining Mars in Gemini in your 7th house, and it's trining Saturn and Jupiter, which is your ruling planet, in your 3rd house. So that means that this ending of a chapter or a cycle will actually be very beneficial. It'll be harmonious. It'll be something that you are either expecting or something which has a very positive impact on you. Now, in the 11th house, this can see you be receiving some kind of reward or recognition for all of the efforts that you've been making in some kind of team project or collaborative effort with that trine to your 3rd house. It's worth noting that the 3rd, the 7th, and the 11th house are all business houses, okay? So I really expect that this achievement or this ending of a chapter will be connected to your finances, so rewards and revenue that you make from these collaborative efforts. Now, this could be some kind of achievement or milestone when it comes to your social economic goals, or as I said, a team project that you've been working on, or it might be something that you and your business partner have been working on, or even you and your significant other, whether that's your marriage partner or your life partner. This could actually be an achievement or some kind of celebration when it comes to a large scale event that you were orchestrating or working on. This could have taken a lot of planning. It could be connected to a fundraiser, a charity event, a public event, a work function, or even a political event or demonstration or some kind of campaign that you were working on. It doesn't have to be a large scale event. This could just be you finally receiving the fiscal or financial rewards and revenue and profits from any of these events, or a work project that you were working on, or even an online business that you launched. You may have launched not only an online business, but it could have been some kind of work project or an app or a new social media platform or a network or a system. Okay, lots of different ways that you can throw those headlines around to see what pertains to your exact situation, Sagittarius. But nonetheless, that's all I have for you for March 2021. If you enjoyed this horoscope, please give my video a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more content from me, please subscribe to CAISTROLOGY. Enjoy March 2021, Sagittarius, and I will see you guys next month.